Thank you so much for talking to me today about Girls Trip. First of all, I have to say there was such an infectious sense of joy and fun about this movie. Please tell me, was it as much fun to make as it looked like on the screen?
Absolutely. We had the best time. I mean, making the movie was a girls' trip, honestly. And we were very lucky that we just had such natural chemistry between the four of us. Like, all four of us really enjoyed each other's company and just had a blast of a time together. And that's rare that you get that, especially with, I didn't know Regina Hall or Tiffany Haddish at the time. So to meet two new women that, I could just embrace as if I knew them as long as I have known Latifah, which has been like 30 years. I felt like I knew Tiffany and Regina just as long.
That's so funny, because that's the next thing I was going to ask you about, actually, because you really do believe in that friendship, that the four of you have been friends for years and years and years. Did you guys get to kind of hang out off the set as well to develop that friendship, or was it something that just kind of happened?
It literally just clicked, because we were all working, and so we didn't have time to have like time before we started filming. We were all doing other projects. I literally didn't get to New Orleans until 2 days before I started shooting.
Okay.
And so that chemistry just really just happened on its own as we were shooting.
What was your favorite scene to shoot? Obviously, there's so many kind of memorable moments, especially involving your own character, but which was your very favorite to shoot?
I think the dance battles were my favorite. Yeah. I had a really good time doing the dance battles.
Awesome. I was going to ask just about your family's reaction to seeing this film, because I think you mentioned Will hasn't seen it yet.
No one's seen it in my family yet.
Neither your kids.
No one. Everybody's working, so nobody's seen it yet. So they'll see it. They'll probably see it this week.
Speaking of favourites, I was next going to ask you, just because we always like to ask this, just for the fun, what are your own favourite movies? Just any movies at all?
I love The Incredibles. I like La Femme Nikita by Luke. Let's see, what else? Get Out was a pretty awesome movie. I've just watched that recently. I would have to say it's one of my favorites, just in regards to what it was able to achieve. And, just the social ideas surrounding it. So I would say Get Out is probably one of my new favorites.
Since we're on the topic of Girls Trip, if you had to recommend a girls trip to anyone, where would it be and why?
I would say don't ask me about a girls trip and
No?
recommending one. Because I think I've been married too long to really be able to recommend a good girls trip. I think that'd be a question for Tiffany Haddish or Queen. I'm trying to get Queen to take me to Rio. She's been going to Rio quite often, and so I told her she needs to take the three of us with her to Rio the next time she goes back.
I hope this movie has changed your mind now, and you will be organising more.
Oh no,
girls
I
trips.
do girls trips. I just don't do girls trips like this one.
I see.
I do very relaxed, chill girls trips.
Well, then might I recommend Dublin for that? I come from Dublin, Ireland, and you'll definitely have a very chilled time there. So if you're ever there, look us up, we'll hook you up.
Okay, cool. I like that.
And then my last question for you then, Jada, was you talked yesterday about hopes for this movie having a sequel, and I really would love to see these four girls up on the big screen again. They're just too full of personality to let a chance slip by. If there were to be a sequel, where would you like for each of the characters to go?
For each of the characters to go, as far as their arc.
Yeah, what do you think's kind of next for them?
Well, shoot, that's a pretty big question.
Yeah,
that's a pretty big question. I mean, there's so many places. It really just depends on what the moral premise of the movie would be. Would definitely determine where all the characters would go. So the moral premise of this, movie was just basically about living your truth, right? So all of the characters' journeys were based on that. So we would have to see what the next message would be for Girls Trip 2 to base what the characters' journeys would be. But I assure you it'd be something fun. We have just as much fun in Girls Trip 2 as we did in Girls Trip 1.
Brilliant. That's perfect. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.